Trump's Navy turns deadly as an Iran-bound vessel is struck at sea. The US blockade is challenged, and a Hellfire strike halts a ship reportedly heading toward Iran. After 20 warnings, Trump's Navy fires a Hellfire missile at a cargo vessel at sea. In a desperate move on the water, a missile strike disables a ship said to be bound for Iran. Trump appears increasingly frustrated as Mojtaba's special Hormuz access deepens Iran's links with Putin and Xi. US Central Command said on May 30th that it had disabled a Gambia-flagged cargo ship after repeated warnings. US forces fired a Hellfire missile after the vessel ignored more than 20 warnings issued overnight. CENTCOM said a US aircraft fired the Hellfire into the engine room of the MV Lian Star. The vessel was allegedly moving through international waters toward an Iranian port in the Gulf of Oman. CENTCOM said the ship was left disabled and was no longer continuing toward Iran. US Central Command said, and I quote, US forces operating in the Gulf of Oman enforced blockade measures by disabling a Gambia-flagged maritime vessel attempting to sail toward an Iranian port, May 29th. US Central Command, CENTCOM, forces observed MV Lian Star transiting international waters toward an Iranian port on the Gulf of Oman and issued more than 20 warnings while informing the vessel it was in violation of the US blockade. A US aircraft disabled the vessel by firing a Hellfire missile into the ship's engine room after Lian Star's crew failed to comply. The ship is no longer transiting to Iran. US forces have disabled 5 commercial vessels and redirected 116 to fully enforce the blockade as a ceasefire with Iran remains in effect. Unquote. The vessel remained adrift in the Gulf of Oman and had not been boarded by US forces, AP reported. The US naval move comes amid uncertainty over efforts to extend the fragile ceasefire. Talks are underway on a possible 60-day extension to address Iran's nuclear issue. No final understanding has yet been reached, with Hormuz still at the center of the standoff. Iran has said its strategic partners, China and Russia, will continue to receive special treatment in the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian MP Ibrahim Azizi stated that both countries would enjoy favorable conditions for maritime transit, according to reports. The remarks come after Iran announced plans to impose tolls on ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz, a move strongly opposed by the United States. The announcement also came as Washington continued its economic pressure campaign aimed at restricting Iran's oil exports and wider energy trade. On May 28th, visuals emerged showing Iran exporting oil and LPG to China and Pakistan through expanding rail connections. Footage shared by RT showed long lines of tanker wagons moving through the night along the transport corridor. Iranian media claimed rail traffic to China has tripled nearly 50 days into the ongoing US blockade campaign. The rail route offers Tehran an alternative export channel beyond maritime routes that remain exposed to regional tensions. Meanwhile, Washington announced a fresh round of sanctions targeting Iran's oil shipping and transport network. US officials said the measures are designed to cut revenue flows linked to the IRGC and allied groups. Tommy Pigott said, and I quote, "The US is targeting the Iranian regime's dark fleet and illicit oil networks under economic fury. Today's sanctions cut off billions in revenue that funds the IRGC, proxy forces, and attacks on our partners. Any entity trading Iranian oil faces serious risk of US sanctions." Unquote. Despite those pressures, Chinese vessels have continued to gradually exit the Strait of Hormuz without major disruptions. Lloyd's List reported that more than 10 Chinese ships previously stranded in the Persian Gulf have now departed. Chinese-owned Aframax crude tanker Hualin Wan was among the vessels reported to have cleared the strait. The tanker is operated by COSCO, one of China's largest state-owned shipping and logistics companies. COSCO President Lin Ji said the safety of crews and vessels remains the company's highest operational priority. The developments suggest Beijing is pursuing both maritime and land-based energy corridors as regional risks persist. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi held a phone call with his Omani counterpart, Badr al-Basaidi, on May 29th, underscoring ongoing diplomatic coordination between Tehran and Muscat. Araghchi later said he had a productive discussion with al-Basaidi, indicating that the two sides exchanged views on regional developments and bilateral cooperation. During the conversation, the Iranian foreign minister expressed Iran's solidarity with Oman, stressing Tehran's support for Muscat in the face of any threats to the country's security. His remarks came shortly after Donald Trump made threatening comments toward Oman, framing Iran's message as a direct response and a signal of political backing for its Gulf neighbor.
Iran wants control of the Strait of Hormuz. Would you accept a short-term deal that allows Iran and Oman to control the strait? And would they have to open it immediately, or would you be open to that happening over a period of time?
No, the strait's going to be open to everybody.
And who would control it?
It's international waters. Nobody's going to control it. We're going to watch over it. We'll watch over it, but nobody's going to control it. That's part of the negotiation that we have. They would like to control it. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up. They understand that. They'll be fine.
Mr. President, thank you. How much economic pressure do you feel to get the Strait of Hormuz open?
Well, you have to say, the United States has so much oil that we are an exporter of oil. So we have plenty of oil. We're very lucky. We're blessed with the greatest piece of land in the world from that standpoint, and we have more than anybody else. And now when you add Venezuela to it, we have, I think, 64% of the world's oil. And we're getting along very well with Venezuela, by the way. It's being run really beautifully. The big companies are moving in. It's going to be amazing, because it's also, like us, they're very blessed in that sense. But we have natural energy that no other country has. We have more than anybody else. So it's really a world problem, because most of the world doesn't have that. And we're making it available. During the closing, I don't know if you've seen some of the satellite pictures, boats, hundreds of boats lined up. It looks like, I used to say, the Long Island Expressway with the cars. They're lined up, and they're coming to Texas, Louisiana, they're coming to Alaska to fill up their boat, their big boat. Some of them are really big, 2 billion gallons, even bigger than that now they make them. They make them up to 4, Chris, I hear. Now they make them up to 4. The 4 are now the big ones. Used to be the ones. Now it's 4 million barrels of, think of that, 4 million barrels of oil in one boat. But they're lined up, and they're right now heading to Texas, and they've already filled up, and they've gone back. In addition to that, you have a lot of boats, you have about 1,500 boats in the strait wanting to get out, and at the right time we'll release them.